behemoth of wooden machinery. You can see kind of spirals of green magic going around the ship. About three spirals actually, well, three rings, kind of going around the ship. Other than that, it's pretty standard ship, large, big, wide, white sails. Though when you get to the deck, you notice that there are a bunch of flat glass panels kind of laid out around the side. If for whatever reason you're curious about that. As for Astrid, she's a very quartz. She's a how do I say? She's quartz colored, so kind of clear as crystal looking. Nice bright red eyes. Again, she has the floating crystals next to her face that kind of represent her horns, but they're not connected to her body, but they move as if they are. Like they don't kind of like float out of place or anything like that. She's dressed in typical wizard robes, carrying a little book on her hand. Kimrick looks battle ready. He has hair that goes way down below his feet. It's kind of dragging across the ground as he walks around. He has his armor tucked with pieces of oddly fresh looking like grass and moss. It looks like it's as if he takes care of it, like he maintains it. Clearly, as you guys see in the image, he has the big scar across his eye. He looks like a man who's seen battle. Um, Beyond that, if you guys have any specific questions, I'm also able to answer.
What was the like crew like on the ship?
You have not really seen any of the crew members yet. Oh, if
Oh,
you're
we
talking
haven't.
about the ones who let you up, it was just like simple red orcs. They're kind of dressed in how do I describe it? They have the kind of like sand bandity look, turban, red turban, red
Okay.
jewelry. You can imagine it, you know what I mean?
So they were all orcs, the ones that we have seen already anyway.
Yes, the ones you have seen are orcs.
Okay. All right, gotcha. Uh
Red-skinned orcs.
Yes.
did they what did they how did they react to Suhara being the ones to bring us up, or did they just let us up when they saw her?
They were hesitant on you guys coming up at first, but then Suhara was able to smooth it over, and they're like, okay. And they let
Okay. So they listened to her. Okay, gotcha.
Any other questions, clarifications, corrections?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, so let's begin for where we left off. Hemrick and Holo are having their stare down, and just as they're about to speak to each other, this Dragonborn Astrid, we've all figured out, kind of leaps out, grabs, hugs Basil, and they both tumble to the ground. She's kind of squeezing you tightly. And she just kind of goes, Basil, Basil.
Basil's kind of in shock for a moment and kind of like pulls her away from him a little bit just to look at her. Like, Lady Astrid, what are you doing here? Oh, and like kind of collects himself and quickly stands up and bows to her a little bit. Apologies, my lady. Put me off guard. Yes, what are you doing here?
You're a part of my research. What? You don't have to be so formal with me. You know that.
Of, of course, my lady. I do, actually. um,
No, you don't. Just kind of gives you a grumpy look.
right, yes, of course. Well, apologies, I'm just a little caught off guard. I was not expecting to see you, of all people, and like gestures around here in this place. It is. It's good to see you. Very good.
It's wonderful to see you too, Basil. I feel like it's been ages. How are you? What are you doing out here? Way out here.
I'm. Oh, right. And his face kind of drops a bit. Um, carrying out your father's mission, I believe. Yes.
Father's mission.
Yes. That has been some time. Right. Again. Um,
This seems heavy loaded. She kind of gets up and straightens herself out. Why don't you take a breather and get yourself? I'm sorry. My appearance must have shocked you.
yes, quite a shock indeed. And again, he just kind of pauses and looks her up and down, saying, well, it is quite refreshing and to see you here, and you do look good, lady. You look rather healthy and strong and taking care of yourself. That is good to hear. See? And it's after recent events, it's just a breath of fresh air, I must say.
Kind of crosses her arms, smirks. Huh. Well, at the very least, you're looking tougher than you used to.
Oh. Well, and he kind of like straightens his suit out a bit. I've been forced to toughen up a bit, I suppose. About your father. Well, what? Why even begin? Like I said, it has been a rather eventful journey of the past few months. A lot has occurred, madam. A lot has occurred.
Uh, this seems to be heavy, Basil. Here, why don't we get you somewhere where you can relax, rather than this. And she kind of looks to the left, and you can see Himrick kind of standing in front of Holo, just kind of looking straight down at her.
Right. Apologies, and let me introduce at least my companions. The one that your rather rough-looking orcish friend is staring at is my dear friend Holo. This short friend here, that is Thalrin. This large metal man is a recent acquaintance of ours, Calabar. And the man with the mask over there is our employer, Eric.
Eric does a kind of subtle bow.
Holo does say pleasure, but she doesn't take her eyes off of Kimrick.
Ashley does kind of speak up to that and says, Kimchi, you okay there? And Kimrick does respond and just goes, perfect.
Kimchi? Really?
You're far away from home,
So are you.
and yet here we are, face to face. I can only imagine what you're up to.
could imagine why the Free Green would send an agent out here. Why are you here?
Why are you here?
A howling in my head brought me here. And for once, there's someone nearby who is like me. Yet here you are.
Ah, I like you. Now I see. At the very least, while we're here, we are guests. There's no need for us to be at odds.
Agreed. The codes of honor might change how we interact from this point on, but if you're civil with me, I see no reason to rock the ship, as it were.
As it stands, you are not my missive. For now. And he does kind of turn around and walk down the hallway. I'm assuming you're here to see the captain of this ship.
Yes.
Very well. He does kind of walk ahead. Asher kind of speaks up, says to you, Basil, so you guys are here for Ashka.
Yes, apparently. Yes, D&D Polo here have things to discuss at the very least. I was assistance from her. And he kind of like trails off a bit, and his eyes just kind of drop to the hull or the deck.
She does kind of a pout and then grabs you in the arm and says, well, let's at least get the easy stuff out the way, right? And starts pulling you along towards where Kimrick is going.
Yes, okay, yeah, all right. Well, kind of gets pulled along.
Any other reaction statements from the rest of the party?
Calibal will just be like staring at Astrid. He's never. I mean, I assume he has never seen a Dragonborn before.
Well, minus the one you killed.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, but yeah, he's just kind of like looking at her a little, like head tilted a bit, clearly studying her.
Yeah, I'll say that will continue to head forward. He'll definitely look at Carrick, the one that Holo has issue with, but he won't say any more than that.
And the two do kind of lead you to, looks like a big room at the end of the hall, where Suhara just kind of opens it abruptly. She doesn't really knock or anything and just walks on in. As you guys walk in, sitting at a desk, what you see is her. Kind of red skinned orcish woman with the wolf like features similar to Holo, though her fur and hair is black. Kind of laid across the desk is a sword, looking like the blade is made of straight original, attached to a hilt, kind of curving at the ends. Her hand carefully grasping the hilt as she stares at you all as you walk in. as you guys kind of file in, and Holo, you walk in, her eyes do kind of lock on with yours.
Holo's staring back, but this time her jaw is halfway open, like as if in shock.
Suhara. Oh, no, that's not the voice. Suhara, you've brought interesting company. Suhara kind of laughs and says, yes, uh, it's no replacement or anything like that. But, and she kind of grabs you, collarbone, and leads you to the forward. Uh, we found this, on our scouting mission towards the east, and, um, unfortunately, the others, they didn't make it. She says kind of shyly in a way and sad. The figure who you can only assume is Ashka does have a kind of sad face. It says, "Oh, snatches." Suhara does kind of just nod. And well, something like Astrid attacked us. Let me correct myself there. And something like that, she kind of points at Astrid, attacked us. Ashka kind of speaks up and looks at Astrid and says, well, it seems some of your kin have made it here. Hopefully that won't be a problem. And Astrid just kind of smiles and shakes her head. No, 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 not at all. If anything, it was probably some kind of vagrant. Ashka looks back to all of you and says, so, Suhara's guests. Who might you be? Sorry, that's rude. I am Ashka, captain of this ship. And you are.
My name is Kalabal. I am the one your scouting party dug up from the sand.
She does kind of stare at you for a while. Long
And
while.
I'll just stare back, head kind of tilted, just like matching her gaze. Is her hand still on the hilt of her sword?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I will like be slowly moving my hand to the hilt of the Iridium greatsword on my back, almost as if matching her challenge.
She does kind of smirk. Keen senses.
Hard not to notice when somebody has their hand on their weapon when you enter their room. Do
Perhaps.
you mean to fight us?
That depends. Do you mean to cause harm to my ship?
Only if you mean myself or my companion's harm, which we have not been able to properly ascertain as to why we were brought here. Why your people were searching for me.
Miss Ashka, Miss, should I call you Miss? How about means no. We're not here to do any harm.
Ashka's fine. You're all rather nervous.
Yes, well, I've never met anyone who looks at her tail and points to her ears. Like this. I
Hmm.
Tora said that you looked like me, but I guess I didn't believe it till I saw you.
Hmm. You've never met another that's looked like us.
No, have you? Are there's others?
Only seen one other.
What was their name?
Hard to say. She kind of puts her right arm on the desk, and you can see a kind of nasty scar kind of going across it. She wasn't the friendly bunch.
I I see.
Are you the friendly kind? And her hand kind of tightens on the hilt.
Yes, yes. You won't see my baring my fangs at you. No, no. I I guess I seek information. I want to know about other people like us. Like she kind of hesitantly posits the term wolf kissed like us.
Her head kind of, her eyebrow does lift at that. Says, "Oh, okay." Then you can kind of see her nose like kind of flicker a bit, and then she looks at you, Basil. You have an odd smell to you.
That's rude thing to say.
It's rather rude to my nose, to be honest.
That's just kind of narrow a bit. Well, apologies. Traveling desert for quite some time.
Just walking. You have water on you.
I'm sorry?
You was just walking. You have water on you.
Oh, well, not so much anymore. Forced to behind our provisions. 2 days? God. But yeah, yes, we were walking a day or two. Before that, we had a horse and cart, and at some point we borrowed your companion, Tara, her ship.
Bara.
Well, yes, after we rescued her and Calabal here, kind enough to allow us to use her ship and travel a bit to east. Circumstances forced us to leave it behind. Rest of our visions.
You just kind of out to that. And you, she looks at you, Val. I'm not keen on seeing your kind leave the Vulcans often.
My business is my own. We have come to you for information.
Her eyes kind of narrow a bit. Then she kind of lets out like a huge sigh and kind of scratches her hair and says, "Ah, this is exhausting. Okay, sorry. I'm Ashka. I was trying to put on the captain persona. It's not working. I hate it. Anyways, you guys are on my ship. You don't smell like bad people. No, you." And she again looks at you, Basil. "You smell strange. What are you?"
in, rather forward, but no, I am a 1T.
One T. Ha.
Yes. And I'll kind of just, turn his head down a little bit and reveal the scales along his back.
Looks like an affliction. You're not sick, are you?
Oh, well, no, these spots are something entirely different. But the scales are just part of who I am. White and grey spots on the cheeks are matter entirely.
Ashley kind of smiles a bit and kind of leans forward and nudges you on the side and then starts speaking up to Ashka. Yes, even amongst his kind, he's actually rather unique. And Ashka just kind of looks at Asher and says, as unique as you, I guess. And Asher just kind of giggles a bit. Well then, and she kind of takes her sword, puts it back on its hilt, and then puts her legs up on the desk and looks at you, Holo. You just look like you are dying to speak to me. Likewise, I'm dying to speak to you. So, go on. What is it?
Um, what was the wolf that you fought? What do you do with your tail? Do you comb it? I have a comb. I can comb your tail. Do you know the red wolf, or maybe an ice wolf, or like multiple wolves, deity wolves, god wolves? L'Oreal. Do you know that name?
Ah, man. You've got a lot of thoughts in your mind. The one who attacked me was a little girl, as strange as that sounds.
Say more about the little girl, her characteristics. I might have seen her before secondhand. And Ahola would try to describe as best she could the wolf girl that she saw in uh Hadar's green orb that's now currently broken. Do you remember that one?
Vaguely, but if I don't, it still works. um,
Okay.
she kind of goes, well, yeah, this one, she was, I guess, more similar to you than to me, kind of pointing at her tusks. Younger looking, white fur, hair, very flat expression. She honestly didn't seem like any fun.
Did she have, oh, it's hard to describe. Was the air around her cold, perhaps?
Very.
I've felt her before.
Felt it.
Yes, let's just say I helped excise the Church of Orcus Ghost southeast of here. And during the ritual, I felt a cold presence from the north. And I might have captured the spirit of a very angry wolf that currently resides in me.
Give me an insight check.
I have my character sheet up.
No. Kind of says, you excised a church? Are you a religious figure or?
Religious, I think, might be a matter of perspective, but I harness the power of nature. Lightning, fire, and I I can shapeshift.
Shapeshift.
Yes, well, excuse me. And in a whirl of sand, she'll change into your direwolf form.
You can kind of see Ashes is kind of looking starstruck. She kind of leans forward and says, "Ooh, wow."
It's a druid thing. Himrick can do much the same.
She kind of looks over at Kimrick and says, "You never showed me anything like that before." Kimrick just kind of goes and turns his head a bit.
I'm from a, well, I grew up amongst folk like me, druids. Seems as though they must be rare in these parts. But using this, well, nature's power, it seems, as a conduit to speak with other deities, perhaps? Which is what brought me here in the first place. There was a howling in my head. It wouldn't go away, and I decided to follow the howl, and it led me here.
Hmm.
I am not one for fatalistic pursuits, but seems like I was called here for a reason, and this desert, the more I hear about it, the stranger it seems.
She kind of smirks like this. "Oh, you're going to fit in quite nicely here."
Perhaps. I I just want the howling to go away, but I guess I'm just curious what everything else is. I'm curious about Halibal here too. He seemed to recognize me, or rather, him looking at me jarred memories. And how about looking at Ashka? Do you remember anything? Are you sensing any deja vu?
You give me a history check.
History. All right.
Ooh. Give me a charisma save.
Charisma save. Okay.
For a brief moment, you felt the compulsion to kneel.
Oh, I don't kneel. Correct.
You don't kneel. You just felt the compulsion to.
Okay. I'll. It's gonna make me recoil from her. That compulsion.
Everything okay there?
I. Yes. Everything is fine. What are you exactly?
I'm an orc. What are you?
You are an orc. And yet you look like Holo here, with the tails and the ears. The other orcs on this ship do not match that description.
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? What are I and your friend here? And she kind of puts her hand out to you, Volo. What are we?
And are you any closer to an answer than Holo is? She seemed surprised to see you, but you were less surprised to see her.
Well, she seems to know quite a bit if she's throwing around the term wolf-kissed.
Oh, I learned that through happenstance. a pair of lamia, before we entered the desert, shared that, what were the terms? Born of hope and born of hate. Are there lamia here?
And you can kind of see her expression sour heavily. No. And Callable, you can give me a charisma save.
Another one?
But you know of them, you recognize the name. Please, if you could you say more?
I suppose. And Callable, you don't notice, but your hand is firmly grasped on your sword.
I don't notice.
Well, you notice like after the fact.
Oh, do I know what triggered me grasping my sword, or just that I notice I'm grasping my sword?
Just that you grasp your sword.
Okay. I will release the sword hilt and then take another step, this time away from both Ashka and Holo.
Asuka kind of looks at you, but then looks back at Holo and says, "It seems we have a lot of things to share. But I imagine you're tired. Why don't you take a moment to rest?"
Yeah, yes, you're right. It's been a long few days. Me and my companions have traveled far, have been whisked to different corners of the desert. If you don't mind us impressing on your hospitality, we could certainly use some time to regroup.
And she kind of starts speaking to you in Orcish and says, "From what I can understand, we're kin, so it's all right."
Can can I do an insight check? Something about this just doesn't sit right with Calabal.
Go for it.
Okay.
You don't sense any immediate hostility.
Okay. Gotcha.
Holo's lip does quiver a little bit, and she says, "Yes, kin,
Do you say it in Orcish or just aloud?
Orcish."
You can kind of hear Kimber kind of groan and just walk out the room.
Is Kimrick comparable in height to Calabal?
He's taller than you.
He's taller than me? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a bit of a beast.
I'll say, yeah, because I'm 7 feet tall.
Yep, he's 7'3".
Oh, wow.
So, anything not so serious I can help you all with this moment? I imagine this big ship is a little disorienting.
Not at the moment, but I would like to have words later. Your scouts were sent to find me, so you must have some idea of what I am.
Suara kind of speaks and said, "I told you we weren't sent to find you. We just found you."
How could you possibly just find me buried under the sand at that exact spot?
Dunes move. We saw something sticking out of the stand and we went for it.
Well, Ashka, is perhaps my finding just a happy coincidence?
She kind of covers her mouth a bit and kind of scratches her cheek and says, "Well, I have my thoughts." She kind of turns around and you can see there's like a little bookshelf behind her. She kind of rushes up to it and starts scanning her finger over the books until she finds one and pulls it out. Starts flipping through the pages. I'll have to look into something, but I'll get back to you on
Okay. And I just have one final question.
that. Mhm.
Do you mean any of us any harm?
So as I said in the beginning, as long as you don't plan to harm my ship in any ways or my crew, then you're safe here. Unless, well, I don't see the iconography. Who's wearing the sun necklace? Or are you guys wearing the sun necklace?
Hola would have it equipped, so she would have it around her neck.
She kind of looks back and then looks down around your neck and says, You you are not in the service of soul, are you?
Gods no. Or, I mean, she kind of grimaces as she looks at Suhara. No, just the balance of nature, if I had to say.
Then you're all fine.
Shall I put the necklace away?
It's not offensive. You're free to wear it. Just something I had to confirm.
Fair enough. Helps me see in the dark.
It's a useful trinket. She does kind of open her drawer and pull one out.
Perhaps another topic of conversation. Time allows.
One of many, she says with a slight chuckle, and then goes back into her little book. Ashley kind of speaks up and clasps her hands together. Now that all the tense introductions are out the way, can I show you guys around?
Yes, please. That would be most agreeable.
She kind of says, "Oh, goody," and then she looks at you, Thal, notices the spell book and all that, and says, "Are you a student of magic as well?"
I am a purveyor of magic. Yes.
"Hmm. Then you'll definitely enjoy this. Come, come. This place is full of more knowledge than anyone could ever hope for." She grabs you, Basil, and starts pulling you along.
Yeah, he's happy to go with her.
If she says that magic is this way, as she's pulling Basil, Fowler will come along.
Everyone else?
Holo does, give a look back, but she drags herself away from Ashka and does follow.
And as you guys leave and heading out the room, you do see Eric kind of stands behind and walks up to Ashka as they start to have their own private conversation. But yeah, Astrid leads you back out to the deck of the ship. Again, it's two huge masts kind of sticking up, probably, I want to say like 60 feet high up in the air. Uh, Large sails kind of flapping. You can see the giant green runes going all around. And she leads you all to one of the glass panels. If you guys kind of look at it, you see it is just plain glass, but a closer look shows that there's some weird writing kind of scratched into it. It has like a light white glow kind of going through it. You can see small bits of copper wire kind of leaving from the sides of it, going down and around the ship. And she kind of points and says, "Look, look. I don't know how the architect of this ship did it, but they seem to be utilizing the power of the sun to help, well, yeah, power the ship. Not necessarily keep it afloat. That's a different set of technology, but he keeps the lights on, everything. It's amazing.
Yes, yes, this vessel is quite a marvel indeed.
And she continues on with her kind of vibrant expression as she points out, and these runes, they're a response to some artifact down below the deck. There's an orc there. He's very protective of it, but I believe he's the one of the architects of the ship. What manner of magic it is, I haven't really figured out yet, but it's unique. Nothing I've ever seen before.
Orcish engineers, truly. They must be into different pursuits from where compared with where I'm from.
Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from where Kimrick's from. The Circle of the Free Green.
Oh, that's honestly surprising. You don't have the very, how do I put it, militant militant expression that he has.
Yes, it was not always like that.
Huh, could have fooled me. Traveled with the man for months. He's a hard nut to crack. But despite the demeanor, he's honestly rather nice.
Well, I believe you are a very special person to travel with one like him for that long.
Huh.
You must have the patience of a goddess.
Maybe.
But yes, ship aside. Come on, share about Basil. What embarrassing stories do you have about him?
Embarrassing.
Oh, any flubs? Any silly thing he might have done around the house? Surely there's something.
Dazzle is, how do I put this kindly? Well, he's very straight now, very clean. You know, I'm sure you are all aware that he doesn't really like getting dirty.
He seems to use half of his magic in that very pursuit.
Yes, there was the one time I was playing around with the magic around home and may have sprayed him a bit with a puddle. It was probably the first time I've ever seen him swear.
But that tracks.
Really like to humor her in this manner.
Well, perhaps I'll continue to humor her if you keep calling me lady.
It is merely for etiquette.
We're not in Ubea, Basil. You can just treat me as the same as you. I prefer it, honestly.
No, no, madam, you are far above my station.
She kind of just pouts a bit and frowns, says, "Ugh," and then kind of flicks you in the face.
Polo has a belly laugh. Oh, this was worth the trip.
Anyways, Basil, what brings you so far here? This is, well, not to be rude, I just don't really see a person like you really enjoying being out in the desert where it's dirty and hot and sweaty and plain and yeah.
You are. That's correct. Of all of our travels, this has been probably my least favorite location we have ventured into.
You've traveled quite a bit. That's interesting. So, who brought you out? Was it father? Did mother send you out?
Yes, I am. And again, his face kind of gets a little somber. Master Aethelwolf and I were on a mission, if you will, venturing toward the City of Brilliance to deliver well, this. He kind of pulls out the music box. And well, I didn't know what it was at the time. But our ship, there was an explosion and the ship sank, and he and I were separated. He was, well, possibly dead for him.
But he's not, right? She says, kind of wide-eyed.
No. He's alive and well, sort of. Recent discovery confirmed that. Yes. I do apologize. It has been very, well, crazy. But yes, we're tasked with delivering this to City of Brilliance, I believe. When the ship wrecked, I found myself bound to the entity within. Believe this, a genie of some sort inside. One that is bound to the water. He saved my life, and though I was not entirely amenable to the situation, well, it's certainly given me a number of capabilities now, and the whole situation has kind of grown on me a bit.
She kind of has this outrageously, like, wide smile. She says, so you've been adventuring with special powers? Magic?
Yes, believe it or not. Nothing quite like what you were learning, and assuming from your and such, you a long way. But yes, I've been dabbling a bit, if you will, and given some gifts from my patron.
May I see?
Is Astrid buying it? Does
Is
Astrid
what?
seem like she's believing it?
She looks highly curious to see what manner of power he's talking about. She believes him. Uh, but to what degree? I think that's what she's trying to figure out.
Holo will chime in. Yes, he casts magic, and he's, well, a large reason of why we made it in the first place at all. Quite powerful, considering you only started casting magic, what, 2 months ago?
It is a recent development, yes. And You give me far too much credit, Holo. Thank you. Yes, I have learned. Well, one thing, and you'll cast minor illusion and just create like the image of like a dragon head in his hand, like a stone bust, if you will, like a very small one. Yes, this, and and I'll find like a small like crack on the hull and cast mending on it. And yes, it's something like that. It has become much easier to keep myself cleaner, if you will. And he casts prestidigitation and kind of clean himself up. And what yeah, well, and those and I'll just use one of his spell slots to cast Shadow Blade in his hand. Like the shadows kind of just pull from all directions and create a small sword in his hand. Yes, I do that as well, and one moment, and I'll kind of gesture her to follow him to the edge of the ship. This one has come in quite handy, let me tell you. And I'll kind of hold out his other palm and cast Eldritch Blast just off into the sands of the desert.
Roll the attack roll and the damage. You can kind of see that her jaw has just been dropped. It hasn't really closed. Like from the start at the illusion and the mending, she was very wide-eyed and sparkly. But as you're showing off this impressive display of force, it's kind of firing through the air, her jaw just kind of drops as she kind of takes her hand and she puts it over her mouth and then quickly puts it down, grabs her spell book and starts taking notes in it. Fascinating.
Yes, Midmar is been most helpful at adventures and, well, keeping me alive. In, um,
And you said he was a what?
um, a genie. You've
Like in the storybooks.
yes, yes, much like the storybook.
Does he grant wishes?
Not that I've experienced. I believe he called himself a marid, something of the sort. He seems to be bound to the element of water.
You can see she just continues to jaw that now. Interesting. I've heard of those water spirits, yes.
Yes. Again, not exactly appreciative of him at first, but I will certainly introduce you. He's quite the figure. But again, I apologize. I got a bit off track. But yes, we were tasked with delivering this to the brilliance, and well, as I stated, we were separated, spent much of the time searching for your father, learning quite a bit as well. Apparently, why? Right. Inside of the magic box is a egg. It is, and again, he kind of like looks around and makes sure that like no one other than the party, kind of within direct earshot. It is, what I understand, Gilligan's last heir. Um, we also found, well, a companion that is no longer traveling with us. Found a ruby of sorts. Apparently, apparently it is a fraction, a part. Heal yourself. Ubea herself, the great mother of all. Yes. Yes. Um,
She kind of drops her book and staff and kind of grips you by both your shoulders and stares deep into your eyes and said, "What?"
yes. I have it safe here as well, with the box with the egg. But yes, a fraction, a part of Bea discovered.
How can you be certain? You say you're just not mistaking some common gem.
I am quite certain. Midmar himself studied it a bit and confirmed that it's certainly no common gem. In fact, it caused me quite a bit of harm initially, but it seems to be what's the it seems does not seem to be harming me anymore.
She kind of looks around and says, "You have to show this to me, Basil, please.
Of course, lady. Um, right,
Don't call me lady."
of course. And again, I'll kind of look at the music box and Midmar, I have someone very important here. Paul, Master Aethelwolf's daughter, Astrid, is requested to see, well, the contents of your domicile. Would you mind making an appearance if you're able?
Did you say Lady Astrid?
Yes, I did. I seem to have stumbled upon her out here in damned desert.
As you say, the clouds in the sky begin to darken a bit, and the music box kind of rattles in your hand as it drops to the ground and opens up, and this big swirl of mist just kind of spirals up and up and up and up and widens as Midbar makes himself known in a very impressive form, kind of standing out strong, chest puffed out, arms crossed, just go, "My lady, it seems that I am to meet you for the first time. Hello." She kind of falls backwards at this sight and just stares up, kind of in shock. "Ha! Hello." And of course, every one of you guys would have seen it, and you could see like the members of the ship that are out and about. There's like probably like 8-ish members just out on the dock. They all kind of turn and look in kind of shock and awe as Midmar really makes himself known.
Yes. See, Midmar, the Magnificent, if I recall your moniker correctly.
And that is indeed true as he kind of shrinks himself down slowly and kind of you can see his body is still tied, like his legs are still kind of like into the music box, but he kind of stretches forward and grabs Astrid by the hand and kisses the back of her palm. "My liege." She kind of recoils her hand from the sudden display of affection and kind of freaks out a bit and says, "Okay, um, hi."
Yes, he's, well, quite the figure, I said. Would you mind showing her the ruby?
Of course. Kind of leans his like left arm kind of leans back into the small music box that he's pulling out of and pulls it out and displays it before her. Is she to hold it?
She's do whatever she wishes with it.
Ah, that's curious. Uh, why don't we just put that away for now?
Well, did you wish to see the egg as well?
Um, maybe not so publicly.
Of course. Apologies.
And if you want, Basil, you can kind of give me an insight check.
Yeah.
You can see that uh Midmar is putting up this big show, but you can see the kind of twitches in his body as he's kind of struggling to hold shape.
Um. Well, unless there's anything else you wish to ask of him, Minma, if you wish, you may turn box. I understand this taxing.
Yes, my lady, if you ever should need something, and he just kind of swirls back into the news box and then it shuts.
Um, yes, there you go. Midma, my patron. Yes, there you have it.
That is quite the sight. She just kind of scratches back her head. Ashka is probably gonna talk to you a bit more about the display, but we'll we'll figure that part out.
Yes. Yeah. Right. We were separated. The ruby. Apparently, the egg is what we're transporting. Well, as I stated, I know that your father is alive. As of days ago, confirmation of this. Brace yourself, lady. He is under the will, influence, role. He's under. And he's just really struggling to get the words out. Um,
What are you saying?
as I understand it, he is enthralled by a terribly powerful being, entity, near godlike thing as Leviathan.
She kind of like you can kind of see her neck kind of like recoil a bit, or like shrink down as she looks back in very almost confused and disgusted state and says, "Enthralled? What do you mean?"
In his will is not his own. He know how else to put it. I don't entirely understand it myself.
What do you mean you don't understand it? How do you know he's enthralled? When did you see him? Where did you see him?
A few days ago, as I stated, with Captain Ashka in there, Suhara was kind enough to allow us to use the vessel, traveled with us and took us to the east where we found a town. Uh, town was very strange. that other Wanti that apparently were responsible for the shipwreck. After I believe I killed them. But that is neither here nor there. As we were departing, we were surrounded, and it seemed like we were, well, going to die. And just before Saurin here got us away through a teleportation spell of some sort, Father revealed himself. Stepped forward, removed his helmet, and standing there with him among all of these, what I can only guess were enemies.
So what part of that makes you think he's enthralled? Did you talk to him?
I did not have a chance to.
You didn't have it yet. Why did you leave?
I
Because
did-
you killed someone? You're running from the law?
Well, you have to understand, this is a very difficult situation. There were many of these water people, creatures, something, I mean, dozens, if not 100 or more. They were surrounding us. The whole village was just strange. It was off. It was, well, you'll have to speak to Eric. He knows much more and is much more well versed in all. But he is the one who revealed to me that the Aetherwolf and everyone in that town were thralls of Leviathan. We
And
became
why do you believe him?
I, for one, can confirm this, and we saw something similar at a previous village.
I'm confused. So if you know they're all enthralled, why did you leave him there?
I did not.
The decision to leave him behind was mine. We were surrounded by enemies. Basil, after the fact that I had initiated the spell on the item that I carried, transported us all back to a safe location. Any issue of why we left him falls to me. We were in a situation of dire straits, and I decided it was best that we got out of it.
That just you can kind of see she's pretty overwhelmed. There was a lot said in that moment, like between the reveal of the Ruby of Midmar and then her father. She's just kind of like she's fumbling her words. Like she kind of just is holding her head and trying to make sense. And she actually doesn't even say a word to any of you. She just walks away.
Actually, Astrid, we are not. Still have more to reveal, please.
I she kind of holds her hand up. Just I'll be back, and she just continues to walk away.
Basil's just entire posture just drops as if gravity is just doubled for him. Kind of hangs there.
Olo does pick up Astrid's staff and spellbook and hand it to Basil. You know, all things considered, this could have been worse. But now she will reflect, digest your words, and she'll be back.
Haven't even.
It's probably good that you left it till the end. But you can't keep it from her.
No, I had no intention of doing so. I just.
Go after her, Basil. we will take care of the conversation here. It seems this will be important to.
Thank you for words. And he'll just follow after Astrid.
I think that's a good moment for us to take 10.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Cool beans.
The soap
How you
opera
guys doing?
continues.
Okay. You guys all right?
Oh, this is good.
Not falling asleep back there? Zarek? Zarek? You awake?
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay. Oh, so we'll come back at 8:10 or 7:10 for you. as we left off, you guys all see Astrid kind of walk off, and you guys pick up the stuff, give it to Basil. Basil starts to walk off. You see her kind of walk into to one of the doors that's like heading towards the captain's cabin, and as she walks into the dark hallway, out kind of walks Kimrick, who's kind of just standing in front of the entrance, kind of staring at you, Holo.
What?
He kind of starts speaking to you in Orcus and says, "We at least do each other some words, are we not?"
I think so. If anything, we might be able to exchange information.
That is the hope.
I'll call ball. I'll be back later.
And he does kind of lead you to a different side of the ship.
Yeah, that's when I think Thal will turn towards Oscar and be like, your ship has many runes attached to it. Who might I speak to about them?
Yeah, we'll say Ashka like was around. Um, she she kind of looks at you and says, "Oh, you're one of those kinds too. If you go down 2 flights of stairs, you'll find Ugrish. I'm sure he'll be happy to spill his beans to you over it."
Yeah, once she says that, and Holo is gives him the confirmation that she's okay by herself, he'll head on down there.
But you, Caliban, what are you doing? Basil's kind of splintered off. Holo's kind of splintered off. Dal's splintered off. What are you doing?
Oh wow. He's probably gonna go up and like sit at the like helm of the ship and just kind of stare out. Honestly, just stare out in the sands while he waits. Like Holo wants her privacy, Basil wants his privacy. He won't intrude. So he's probably just gonna reflect on what he's learned, what he's been feeling, on see if there's any more he can delve into in his own mind while staring out across the sand. And I would say he's even studying the landscape to try to see if he can remember or like reconcile that this land could have possibly been the fertile grasslands and hills that he has like flashes of in his memory.
You can give me a history check.
History check. All right. Oof.
Oof.
Wow. That's awful.
Well, happens to the best of us. Let's go flip to Holo. Kind of Himmick brings you to his the little private quarter that he has. Very plain, very small room. Just like a simple what are those things called? Hammock? Is that what I'm thinking of? The
They're like
hanging.
strung up in a corner. Hammock.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of hanging there, and then a small chair. He brushes his hand, points toward the chair, offering for you to take a seat.
Olo sits down on the floor, legs crossed. This will do.
He kind of just grunts and also takes his seat on the floor across from you. You've traveled far.
Yes.
How have the sands felt to you?
Unnatural.
So you understand. This is not right here.
No. I don't think it's a justification for the Free Grain's goals, but I agree. I saw Uyan. He said as much, that this place is a cursed place. I thought it was more of this green aggression, but from what I've seen and what I've felt, I think there's more to it.
He kind of, his expression slightly raises to that and just goes, the Root Father made himself known to you.
Yes. In order to call me an abomination and set chitness and bark like foes against us. Most unpleasant.
Well, if that is his will.
You didn't tell him to attack me, did you?
I've been gone for many moons, child. And as he kind of points out to the window, to the vast desert, there's not many trees for me to be in contact with here.
No, certainly not. You've been away for that long. Why?
I've come to rectify this blemish on the land. To at least figure out how to.
It's a big desert. Certainly a tall task for even one such as you.
The whole force of the tree green has to come, they will. At the very least, if I can find out the root of the problem, my mission will be a success.
Well, all right. I think it's in both of our interests for me to share a bit more about it. The Iron Man who's with us, he has old memories of when it used to be green here.
Oh, is that so? And what has he shared?
Well, his memory's broken. The crystal in his chest appears to be cracked. We hypothesize that we need someone to fix it for his memories to return. If we can figure out what happened back then, what put him in... His soul appears to be encased in that thing of iron, but he remembers flesh. If he can remember anything from back then, it might help retrace the steps of what caused this desert to show up like this.
So, that thing has a soul trapped in iron.
I guess it's certainly more sentient than other golems I've seen.
Well, if he has a living soul, you're better off crushing it and freeing him from his cage.
I'll remain silent for a moment. Guess it's up to him, isn't it? His soul, his cage. Seems poetic for one to free themselves from their own cage if it comes to it.
I suppose. He's not a natural force on this realm. He only hurt himself more the longer he continues to exist. He says, kind of looking at you very straightforwardly.
And I still maintain that it's not my business. It's his own. But regardless, he could be a bridge to what's been in the past, and he seems to recognize people with woven features, such as mine and Ashka's. Might mean that people like me might have had something to do with what happened back then. Whether people like me caused the desert or fought against it, I don't know. Nothing certain yet. But I was called here by a howling in my head. These wolf spirits might know something too.
I would recommend executing caution, but I imagine you won't listen to me in that regard.
Polo seems confused. This is concern for me. You did nothing for me in the free green. You let orcs push me around simply because of my looks. Now you're taking caution? Oh, but wait. I'm useful to you now, of course. Silly me.
It is as simple as that, isn't it? As it stands, we don't know what you and you meeting with the rest of these wolves would do here. Past few months, I've seen the sandstorms been quite more intense. I imagine that has to do with your arrival here.
Perhaps. I have a feeling events have transpired before I got here, coming to a head with me being called here, I suppose. We just don't know enough about what's happening.
We do not.
Now, I've given you information. I believe you owe me some now in response. What
He
have you
does
found
kind
out about the desert?
he puts his hand through his beard as he kind of runs his fingers through it. Through some old texts and conversations with Eltianora, I have learned that we are native to this place. The Free Green is not our original home, but where we migrated to.
So despite the differences in red and green, you're hypothesizing that we changed colors and moved to the forest?
I hypothesize that they were once all green, but different conditions lead to different consequences on the body.
That implies that this split happened a long time ago then.
Yes. Yes. Somewhere between the first and second turnover.
That might explain the differences of skin over time, perhaps as a reaction to the arid conditions here.
Yes, they do seem less afflicted by the heat. Whether that's a blessing or a curse, well, more than likely the latter.
That's certainly something. What else?
Well, I'm sure you saw it, but centralized in this desert is a giant, never ending swirl of winds and sand.
Yeah, Suhara was mentioning that things get a little bit trickier in the middle of the desert. Have you been there?
It's hard to get close when unequipped. I've been to the edge, but I have not seen what lies beyond. This Ashka here believes that she knows a way for us to penetrate this wall.
Ah, that's what brought you to her then. Makes sense. She seems very curious about the origins of this desert as well, thinking that all three of our goals are aligned.
Yes, to gather information. It's the only thing that brings outsiders here. And I suppose the outsiders in here as well.
Yes. I don't suppose you've bumped into a certain name, Hadar.
No, this name is lost to me. Why?
Yes, he's a powerful wizard who may be around the desert somewhere. Those arcane
Hmm.
magics can certainly cause many a great disasters. Unnatural disasters more.
The only person of any real magic I've met in these parts is Astrid, and she came with me, so.
Yes, where did you come across her?
Yeah, not in some quaint village. What was it called? Uh, Dunfrey.
I wouldn't take you for one to wander around with someone that wasn't an orc.
I was hesitant, but she has quite the strong mind and curiosity that may be necessary in uncovering these secrets. Our destination was the same. I might as well utilize all the tools at my disposal.
You, all this time I thought you were a brute, a bully. You're charmed by her, aren't you?
Now we're speaking craziness. Perhaps the desert heat has gotten into your head. If you had enough water,
What's his body language telling me?
you can incite it. He's not smitten, but he's not pleased by that statement.
It is awfully hot. Perhaps I am wrong in this.
I. She is not the worst company around, but she could never have my heart. No.
Still, higher praise than I would have expected. All right, Kimrick. You will remain civil. Well, I didn't particularly find a home in the Free Green. I find myself unable to hate you for it.
There is no use in hating what is natural.
That could be misconstrued as rude.
Well, I am not one to tell you how to feel about truths. Many people take them to heart differently.
Yes, and I'm sure you know orcs are relatively more straightforward, and some would sense us as being rude, too direct, but I missed that much about the free green.
Well, if we unwilling, we are able to heal this land, there'll be plenty of free green to go around. I overheard you conducted a druidic ritual at one of the towns.
I did.
And
They, well, it was the same ritual that we used to spread green. Yes,
well,
while I don't agree with the tenets, I remember the words just as easily as anything else. The ghost came out, I channeled that, and, well, accidentally brought a angry wolf spirit to the doorstep of my soul, and he's still with me. And these orc ghosts, they seem to have done something to anger this wolf god. And it's a wolf god that they seem to worship too. So, whatever our ancestors were doing, whoever these wolf spirits are, they seem to put them in high regard.
a wolf god.
As God, spirit, but if it's a spirit, it's a very powerful one. Well, when an enemy strikes me, unless I can resist its force, the wolf will come out, shift me into something that is a little bit wolf-like, and I will attack that enemy until they are in the ground. It is useful, but without control it is concerning.
And you must conduct yourself with caution. According to the teachings of old, you may have found yourself inhabited by the Cretaceous demon of this lands. Feral beast, if you will.
Difficult to say if it's a demon or not, but certainly predatory. Not one that you'd want to hunt.
Well, no one wants to hunt the predator, but to save their own lives, sometimes it is necessary. As for whether it's a demon or not, if it is the root and cause of all this, I don't see what else it would be.
I think you jumped to conclusions. It could be an angry wolf who has done wrong. And I sense that there is another wolf, the one that Ashka told me about, the one with the cold aura. I'm sensing that she is also a spirit of equal strength, maybe even stronger. So if these spirits, or as you call them, demons, are about, there's certainly more than one. There could be many.
Oh, there is that naivety. Well, suppose there's no changing your mind on that fact. Demon, god, whatever it is more than likely a blight on this land, whether it's a mistake or not. It will have to be handled. I'm sure you're aware of this.
Be handled in a manner that befits the situation. Not all things must end in conquest.
I'm merely suggesting returning it to the earth. Easiest method is death. It's part of the cycle, no.
I suppose it is. But if that is a choice that you make, know that it will not go easily into the earth.
Most predators don't.
Hola will stand up. Well, Kimrick, best of luck in the future for killing the demon that's inside me. But until that point, should our paths cross, do you agree to share information again?
Yes.
I see no reason to attack you, Kimrick. I hope you find equal reasons not to attack me.
The immediate need hasn't arisen yet. For your sake, I hope it does not.
Isn't that a kind thought? Good evening to you. Pleasant as always.
He does kind of nod his hand and his head. Yeah.
She exits the room, and as the door closes behind her, she just gives a very deep sigh of relief that it did not go further than what it did.
All right. That we would do a scene change to Thal. To kind of making your way down the stairs. You do run into this man who stops you and goes, "Can I help you?"
It's like a dwarvish orc.
All right.
Who did this orc stop?
Thal, Ren. Chris.
Guess we go to Astrid instead.
Yeah, we'll bounce to Astrid for now then. Oh, may as well you see Astrid kind of wandering into her private quarter, if you call it private. Just kind of shuts the door behind her and walks in.
Yeah, he'll slowly approach the door, giving her a brief moment, and then kind of lightly knock on it. Um, lady, Astrid.
By the mother, I thought I said I needed a minute.
I understand that. There's still. You all right?
Am I all right? She kind of walks up to the door and opens it. You've just shared to me that my father is possibly a slave, and you're asking me if I'm all right?
Well, quite the shock for me as well. I'm coming to terms with it. I just. Unfortunately, there is more. Must know.
There's more? What could it possibly be?
It is about the shipwreck that your father and I were a part of. Brought up. There's no easy way to say this. Those Wanti that I mentioned, found to the east, they were the ones who carried out the attack, and said that they were hired by somebody within House Baracus.
She kind of puts her claws up to her mouth and kind of bites on her index finger. And she's processing what you say. But they would say anything.
They had no reason to lie at this juncture. They thought I was one of them.
I. And who do you suspect? Hmm? Who is the shocking revelation? Who is the one who ordered it?
I don't mean to speak above my station or ill of those who took me, but my initial thought or reflex was your uncle, Master Owain. And that, or also learned that he was meeting with Irgissa, a dragon of the southern mines.
How? How do you know this? Where did this information come from?
It came from your brother.
Alfred?
No. No, that would have been a much easier situation, I believe. No. Uhtred. I I ran into Uhtred. Travels. A town called Woodhurst. He too was under the thrall of something, which I now learn were people being controlled by this Leviathan. I managed to break him of this, but again, it's a whole nother tale to tell. But he is all right. Last I saw, I'm not sure where he was headed, but he was much changed. Not the same, for lack of a better term, bully that he was when we were growing up.
Well, I suppose that's good. She kind of lets out a large sigh and starts again gnawing at her index finger. Turns around from a bit and puts her back to you. Starts pacing around for a second and then turns around. Okay. Father is not dead. Is he hurt?
I don't know. No, I don't believe so. From what I could tell, he was in perfect health aside from not being in control of his own will. I can't even verify that entirely. I do trust Eric for what it's worth, at least mostly. He seemed to have it on good authority and seemed to know what he was talking about. Believe him. He says that Leviathan has hold Master Aethelwolf.
Why do you believe him so much?
Well, we've been traveling together for some time, and he recently revealed himself to us and his own personal quest. And honestly, just you had to have been there in that town. It was just very strange. It was very clear that something had a hold on all of them. That the pieces fit together.
She shakes her head from side to side a bit and then continues gnawing down on her index finger, starting to just bleed just a little bit. Okay, so okay. So what are we going to do about it? How are we going to help Father?
Well, I initially was hoping that this Ashka lend her aid and give us transport back to the village or the town there, but Eric spoke of a weapon he's been tasked with creating that would destroy this Leviathan. If we can't spirit your father away from Hutches and his thralls, then I see no other choice but to go after. Cut off the head of the snake, as they say.
You're you're looking for a weapon? What is this? Some kind of children's book? What is this?
I understand how far-fetched it all seems, and yes, you've been out here, you've been adventuring, you know what it's like out here away from Ubea. Things are not simple. Yeah, yes, you have to have experienced how strange it is out here, and sometimes we must do fantastical things to achieve our goals, and sometimes we must do unthinkable things.
Okay. You said, where did you see my father? Please just remind me one last time.
Did not get the name of the town. We were quite distracted at the time, but it was this town to the east on the coast. It looked like some sort of fishing town of sorts. Multiple structures built directly into the water. And they drank something they called creel that clearly had an effect on those that consumed it. I believe that's where their influence came from, or at least the start of it made you susceptible to such things. I do not recommend you go there, especially not alone. It took quite a bit.
Don't recommend I go there. What are you talking about? My father's a danger.
And at this, he kind of straightens up, looks her in the eye. Astrid, that was my first reaction as well. I screamed and yelled at my companions, particularly Thal, to take me back, that we had to go back. I had to get him. He was, understand, for months now. My sole driving reason for travel was to find him. No one is more devoted to him than I. You know this. But I'm afraid he is. I'm afraid he is out of reach for the moment.
You can see she's like biting down hard on her index finger. It's starting to bleed pretty badly.
Damn it, stop that! And he actually pulls her hand away. Not hurting yourself.
It's kind of suck her teeth a bit and just looks away. And are you certain this weapon will work?
I have no guarantees, but again, at the moment, I have no other clues. The direction seems to be the best only course. Getting him out of there without sacrificing ourselves, I believe, would be impossible. I wish it weren't so. As I said, no one wants to get him out. No one wants to rescue him. Everything that he has done, your entire family has done for me, I will forever be in your debt. It pains me to leave him there. Option. Or the course of action.
She does look at you with a very strong frown. Her eyes are very red and dry. Looks like she's basically out of tears at this point, and she's kind of. I'll trust your decision. You have to swear to me you'll get him back.
Of course. Please swear. My life. If it is the last thing that I do, I will.
I will not be sitting idly by. Maybe there's more information I can find out about this the Leviathan creature. Maybe when Ashka pierces through that great sand spire, there's something we can use that'll help us. But I'll be doing my part here. And when I've done my part, I will make my way over there. So, and it's a bit unfair to say to you, Basil, but either you get this weapon and you save him first, or I get there first and I save my father.
Please.
It's not up for negotiation, Basil. It's
No.
my father.
I understand. I'm not asking you to leave it. No. But allow me to accompany you if you do attempt this. I could not forgive myself if you fell under this creature's power. Lose your father to him is bad enough. To lose both of you would be unforgivable.
Fine. Once you get this weapon or whatever, come find me. I'll be on this ship. If everything goes well at the spire, of course.
Thank you. I do apologize if I have overstepped here. Request. It's my duty to serve and protect House Baracus. I cannot let you come to harm.
She has like a short smile and kind of forced and says, Yes, yes. I'm sorry for being tense with you. I know you only mean the best. And I'm sorry, I'm just a little overwhelmed.
You have nothing to apologize. Be concerned if you weren't overwhelmed. I've been experiencing it for months now, and I still find myself confused and struggling to deal. But yeah, these you dropped these. Kind of hands over the spell book staff. If you'd like, I will leave you to your thoughts now. Yeah.
She takes the book and staff and smiles and nods and says, "Sorry, if you would mind just leaving me be for just a little bit."
Of course. Of course. I will just be my companions. He, and again, he kind of pauses and raises his head a bit. You will get him back. Promise.
Right.
And at that, he'll just kind of close the door behind him, make his way back to the group.
And you can give me a perception check. As you're leaving, you do hear very soft sniffles as you're kind of walking away from the door.
He just kind of nods and sighs. Keeps walking.
I kind of imagine both Holo and Baslex in the room sigh, and then they look at each other, like down the hallway from each other.
And that's exactly what will be happening. So your conversations do kind of line up as you guys do find each other in the hallway.
Holo is looking a bit haggard and tired and a little drained.
Yeah, Basil's looking similar with a bit of a downtrodden expression. I have to say, this was the last thing I expected to find here.
Thinking the same thing. Do you need a hug?
Well, not particularly, but
Okay, I do. And Holo goes to hug Basil.
yes, okay. And he kind of just, pats her on the back, little awkwardly.
This is the part where you hug me back.
Oh, right. Yes, yes. And again, just awkwardly kind of hugs her back.
Yeah, Holo squeezes to the point where it's hard for you to breathe.
Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, that was nice. Thank you.
I guess no one ever taught you to hug in your house. Oh well.
It was not something that. No, I was not embraced in such a manner.
Look, I think I can convince Ashka to ferry us to the blacksmith. My thinking is Ashka wants to find out what's happening in this desert. Halabal's crystal on his chest, it's cracked and he's lost his memory. I think I can try to convince her that if we bring him to the blacksmith to get fixed, she can have the knowledge that she seeks. And at the same time, we can craft that weapon very quickly. What do you think?
That would be great. Yes. We do have to find the City of Brilliance first, though. That piece of Originum mentioned he wrapped the weapon from.
Oh shoot, that is right. But still, I might try to ask Ashka that she ferry us, or maybe if they have a fleet, maybe we can borrow another ship or something. I don't know, but we can't be trapsing around when you have your Aethelwolf to look after, and time is of the essence, I'm gathering.
Yes, I do believe it is, and while she promised me otherwise, I do fear that Lady Astrid will go after him on her own, which, sure you understand, would be most terrible. That would not end.
Right. Well, we have some time, and I'm sure she's still processing, but try to convince her. And I know you came around after a few days. I think she will too.
Oh, she is far more intelligent and wise than I am. I'm sure it will take her a fraction of the time.
I'll take your word for it.
But yes, this has all just been so very much. I think we should find some rest. So,
Or
Right.
some ale. Ale, then rest. Surely they've got a stock in here, right?
one would assume, and you know what? Yes, I do believe I could use it.
Can be a quiet one. I think I might need some quiet.
Yes, time to process and such. Let us go find this drink.
Here's to that.
Sweet. Chris, are you there? Chris.
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. We're gonna flip to you, all right?
Let's do it.
So as you were making your way down the stairs, uh again, you run into this orc who kind of stops you halfway down the final step. He just kind of looks at you with his goggles and just kind of goes, "Is there a reason you're coming down here?"
Well, are you the one to ask about the runes on the sails?
I am. And what business do the runes have with you?
Well, they are quite interesting, very least. All of these different runes to power such a large ship. I am interested in knowing exactly how they work.
Kind of smirks a bit at that. Ah, studied in magic, are they?
Indeed, I am.
Well, who am I to stop an inquisitive mind? Come, follow me. You just kind of turn around and start walking down the stairs.
Yeah, I will actively follow behind.
As you guys are getting down these steps, you can feel the ship kind of rattle, and then all of a sudden it feels like it kind of just drops. Not heavily, but you do feel like you descended. Since you were on the stairs, just go ahead and give me a dex save. Just because I find that funny.
Disadvantage, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Hell.
as it kind of pumps down, you kind of lose your footing and fall over. You don't take any damage, but you do kind of fall prone down at the bottom of the stairs. So does the orc in front of you. You guys both kind of tumble down, and he kind of goes, "What is this? What is happening?" And kind of rushes to down the hall.
Yeah, that Ren will attempt to keep pace with him. I guess originally assuming that this is just a natural state of how things go out here, but once it seems as though he's a bit more confused about why this particular instance is happening, he'll pay a bit more attention.
And then all the other party members, you guys would have felt the ship basically drop as well. I imagine Calvo, you may have tilted over for a bit or something. But yep, Thao, you gotta chase after him, you said?
Yeah, Thalrin will go after him.
So he does kind of rush through and opens this door that is at least to a big room filled with these large bells. One of them seems to be kind of laying on the ground next to this big black muck. As he kind of walks through and says, "One of the bells is dropped. I see. The ship seems to have fallen. You're good with magic. Can you help me with that?"
I see no problems with that.
And as you guys kind of get up close to these bells, this black ichor starts to kind of wrap around it as two of these sludges kind of fall out in front of you. You see is what all of you guys can see this, yeah? Or is it all black?
I
It's
just see
black.
black.
It's probably because you guys don't have to. What you see is I need to organize this journal. Chris, can you see?
Yep.
Awesome. So that way I can just drag you guys.
Oh well, actually, no. I saw the post you put up, but I cannot see. I am a black screen currently. After that,
Probably have to add vision. Okay. 1 second. I almost pulled a copy for a second. I'm just gonna find it. Can you see now, Chris?
I still have a black screen.
No, maybe let me just turn off that. Honestly, it's not really necessary. Slightly embarrassing. How do you guys turn off dynamic lighting again?
think it's in the gear and the page settings.
Yes. All right. Can you all see?
See,
All right. So
Yes.
you see these two giant, big slobs of black ichor kind of just filing out from around the fallen bell fowl. And that's, I guess, where we'll put a pin on it, because if we enter now, it'll probably take forever.
Okay. Black
Oh.
ichor in the engine room.
Bel's
Well,
gonna fight the oil from Fern Gully. That is only for you, Kevin.
That's good. That's
Oh,
the
Chris
old
got it too. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I do not understand, but that probably comes as no surprise.